What books am I reading in the month of February? Hi friends, welcome back to Pages and Chaos, and I am participating in a read-a-thon for the month of February, as well as reading a book for the Comfy Cozy Book Club. So I'll let you know what our February pick is and all the books that I plan on reading for Folklore February. So first up are the books that I'm reading for the Comfy Cozy Book Club. And we are reading The Unofficial Buddy Read, the second book in the Noodle Shop Mysteries, Dim Sum of All Fears. And in this one, Lana wants to go on an interview to get a job. Now that everything has settled down after the last situation with the murder of the owner of all of the stores on the property. So she decides that she is ready to leave the family business. But unfortunately, her parents have to go on a last-minute trip to Taiwan to take care of her ailing grandmother and leaves her in charge of the store. She finds out she's really good at it, but now we have a new mystery and a new victim. Two of them, actually. It's her new friends from the souvenir shop who are newlyweds, and now all of these secrets are coming up and ex-wives and things like that. So she's going to go on this amateur sleuthing adventure while also trying to figure out what her relationship is with Detective Trudeau. The next book that I'm picking up is our February book club pick, and that is The Match by Sarah Adams. And this is actually the first Sarah Adams that I'm reading, so I'm really excited to pick this up. So this is about Evie, who works and volunteers for the same company that got her service dog, Charlie, for her epilepsy. And it's on the verge of going out of business, so she's really trying to help bring it back from almost bankruptcy. And she winds up going on a client meeting with Jacob, but it turns out that Jacob's 10-year-old daughter, who has just recently been diagnosed with epilepsy as well, has been wanting a service dog of her own. And so she sets up this meeting. So Jacob and Evie spend a lot of time together trying to find the perfect dog. And then, of course, we have the journey of their love story. So I'm excited for this, and I can't wait to read my very first Sarah Adams. So the next few books that I'm picking up for the month of February is for Folklore February, and that is a read-a-thon ran by Kat at Kat's Novels Adventures. And this is the second year that I'm participating in this read-a-thon, and I had a lot of fun with it last year, so I'm looking forward to it. So this is a read-a-thon where you choose all types of folklores and myths and legends and fairy tales and read books inspired by that. So I have 5 different books that could possibly fit her 4 prompts that she has chosen for this year. So the 4 prompts that she has chosen is famine, feast, fauna, and flora. And based off of different myths and legends and folklore, they all have different meanings. Things like gifts from the gods or punishment from the gods, feasts and referring to rebirth and moral testing, all these types of things, depending on the culture and the folklore that you're reading. So I have 5 books that will some way, shape, or form fit one or multiple of these prompts. And if you would like to know more and see all of the details, I'm going to link Kat's introduction video as well as her recommendation videos for these 4 prompts. So the first book that I've chosen for this read-a-thon is going to fit the famine category, and that is Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. And this is a Rumpelstiltskin retelling, and this is about Miriam, who comes from a long line of moneylenders, but it turns out that her father can't collect their debts, and she winds up spinning herself into this lie that she can spin silver into gold, and she captures the attention of the wrong people. So now she is sent on this challenging adventure to try to get herself out of this lie. She meets along the way a peasant girl and a nobleman's daughter who is in an arranged marriage, and she has to not only save herself and get herself out of this challenging lie, but also save the fate of these 2 kingdoms. Next up is A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen. This I picked up for the possible feast prompt, and that is because this deals with a forbidden love. So this is about Pharaoh, who is in an unhappy marriage, and it turns out that her husband betrays her and she ends up in a fight to the death. But it turns out that she has a secret. Her blood has goddess blood in it, and this is going to give her some type of magic that she can repel all attacks. And this gets the attention of somebody who thinks that he is destined to rule over Skyward. and basically binds her to him and to the land to help heal the fractured kingdom and put him in charge. And while that is happening, she gets put in the care of Bjorn or Jorn. I'm not exactly sure how to properly say that. But they end up in a forbidden romance, and this would fit the feast because some type of lusting after something that you shouldn't have could fall into that category. And this, I believe, is a Norse retelling. Yes, so it says in this Norse-inspired fantasy romance. So this is based off of Norse myth and legends, and so that is why this would fit for this category. So the next book that I'm going to pick up is The Fox Wife by Yang Zixu, and this would fit the fauna prompt because this deals with the legend of the fox spirits. And foxes are actually known to be trickster animals in a lot of folklore and legends, so this would fit perfectly into that prompt. So this is about a woman who is found dead in a doorway, frozen, but unfortunately the investigation doesn't really take any turns and is overshadowed by the legends of these fox spirits that are known to transform themselves into beautiful men and women and trick people into basically falling for them. So Bao is this investigator, but he's like so enamored by these legends. And meanwhile, at the same time, there's this family that owns this Chinese medicine shop and can help all types of people, but they have a curse of their own. And it seems like one day this woman shows up and their luck seems to be changing. But it turns out that there's a question of whether or not this woman is one of the fox spirits or what's going on. And she's out for revenge for the death of her child. So these two stories at some point, I'm sure, will intertwine with each other. And I'm really excited to read this and learn about the fox spirits and things like that. And the last book that I have planned for Folklore February is Weyward by Amelia Hart, and this would fit the flora prompt because this is all about nature and witch magic, which would fall into that prompt. There's a whole bunch of different ways to interpret this in terms of tree spirits and herb magic and all types of things. So this is about three different women in three different centuries, and somehow their stories intertwine all around this Weyward cottage. So the first one is in 2019, where Kate will flee her abusive partner, and she goes to this long-time family-owned cottage, Weyward, and it is covered by all this beautiful garden, and it's just surrounded by nature, and she uncovers the secrets of this cottage and how her family came to have it and things like that, and it goes all the way back to the witch hunts, things like that. The second timeline is 1619 with Altha, who learned all about witch magic from her mother. She's awaiting a trial herself because she was accused of murdering a farmer. So my guess is that she's going to be a victim of one of the witch trials. And then the last timeline is 1942, World War II, and Violet winds up finding a locket with a W on it, and somewhere in her room in the baseboards, the word Weyward etched into it. So she's obviously going to try to figure out what the connection is to that. So I'm really, really excited to read this one. This has been on my TBR for a while, and I've heard great things about it. So this might even be the first one that I pick up for Folklore February. Now, if you watched one of my last videos, I am also reading my very first booktuber pick, which is the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, and I am going to be hopefully vlogging my reactions to that and how I feel about that. So that is going to be another book that I am reading throughout this month. So make sure you watch one of my previous videos where I explain what the book is about and the plan for those picks as well. Well, I do have a few other books that I could possibly pick up this month, but I'm not very sure if I'm going to get to them. They're not really on my definite plans of pile of possibilities. So in my wrap-up video, we'll see if I get to anything other than these 5 or 6 books that I have on my TBR. And as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts. So let me know down in the comments, have you read any of these books? What are your thoughts? Do any of these intrigue you? Because I just love to hear from you guys. Well, that's all I have for now. Bye.